7 a.m., and it's now time for the Morning Watch.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move. U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, JPS, where is my light? Why it takes the time it takes. And in the second watch, analyzing Jamaica's 2024 Olympic team. For our social media question, we ask, what are your thoughts on the Jamaican team selected for the 2024 Olympics? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's our quote.
All right, this quote says, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come without leaving happier." And this one is from Mother Teresa.
Okay, good morning, Joka.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Great. Very insightful and interesting devotion earlier.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's from Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes 4:12-15.
Yeah, threefold cord is not easily broken.
That's right.
Great job.
Thank you.
The first watch will be back after this break.
Febreze. Imagine getting home after a long day and it smells so amazing that it makes you smile. Try Febreze Plugs, an air freshener that delivers continuous scent for up to 50 days when you plug it in low mode. Indulge in wonderful scents for weeks with Febreze. La, 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 la.
Building your house and looking for everything in hardware from ground to roof? Save the hassle. It's Robinson & Sons Hardware, dedicated to giving you the best. Call Robinson & Sons Hardware, 876-715-1724. Or visit 18 West Palm Avenue, Port Antonio, Portland. If we don't have it, we'll get it for you. Robinson & Sons Hardware, Port Antonio, Portland, dedicated to giving you the best. 876-715-1724.
Hiya! Don't let the hurricane season catch you without your supply of Lanco roof coatings. Get the Lanco Duraflex, Urethanizer, Siliconizer, or Siliconizer Plus to seal and waterproof the roof. No leaking or moisture problems. Lanco roof coatings reflect the sun rays and reduce the heat inside the house. Use Lanco coatings on your sink, slab, asphalt, wood, and shingle roof. Available at your local hardware store. Lanco, your waterproofing experts.
I love doing my own thing, so to have to live by my landlady rules, kind of rough. I can only park near the front gate to the right of the mango tree, but not on the lawn. Well, I fulfill two dreams with one Jane bank savings plan. I buy my dream home And I live by my own rules.
Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way. On your mark, set, get ready to go. It's time for the True Juice 5K, the one-of-a-kind experience taking you through the beautiful True Juice orchards in Montauk, Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at truejuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Come run, walk, and have fun while raising funds for the Lincoln Hospital. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
Have to be a man, got to be a man. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man.
It's an Olympic year, and on the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on men and sports. Track and field edition. Sports has been a very competitive activity, especially for men. Truth is that sports is a powerful tool that can help to influence persons in a positive direction. Can a Christian man really love sports and stay true to his faith in Christ? You are invited to join us as we speak with Pastor Ron Wayne on Wednesday, July 10 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. The Mailbox is brought to you by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited. The Mailbox, Monday!
Women's Oasis Ministries presents a symposium from victims to victors. Come hear the stories of domestic abuse survivors. Tracy and Harry, Crystal Buckley, Garcia Wittick, and Vanaya Jack Davis. Greenacres Retreat Center, 3:30 to 3:31 St. Agnes Way, Spanish Town. From mess to message, from victims to victors. Saturday, July 13, 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Call our website 764-544-4711. Your healing is just a prayer away.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, since Hurricane Beryl passed by Jamaica and wreaked havoc on the South Coast, the major utility companies have been working 24/7 trying to get their services back up and running. It's not an easy task, but waiting to get back to normal is also not an easy task. And the reality of getting lights back on, especially when persons feel left out and forgotten, and on top of that, having lost just about every possession they owned, is more than real. So how is the JPS doing with the task of getting everyone back on a grid? What's it really like for the frontline workers? Well, to answer these and other related questions, we have joined us Mrs. Audrey Williams, Media and Public Relations Manager at JPS, and Mr. Kevin Hooper, Field Services Technician, I'm assuming, also of the JPS. Good morning to you both.
Hi, good morning to you, Reverend. Morning.
Yes.
Hi, Kevin.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm well. I hope you are well too, Reverend.
Yes, I'm well. I hope you are doing okay. Great.
Yes, we're giving thanks.
Yes, good to have you both with us.
Thank
Now,
you.
Mrs. Williams, what can you share with us as an update on the approximate number of JPS customers who are now with electricity?
All right, great. Thank you. So, as at our last update, we were up to 84% of our customer base having electricity. And that is pretty significant because after Hurricane Beryl, we had 35% of our customer base with electricity. So we were able to hold on to 35% of our customers through their experience. And now in 5 days of restoration, we're up to 84%. So we do anticipate that by the end of the weekend coming up, we will be fairly normal once again. However, I have to put in the caveat, all things being equal, because, if we have some difference in the weather, like inclement weather where there's lots of rain or so, that we'd have to have the team stand down for the sake of their own safety. Also, I would have to say that the exception to that would be St. Elizabeth, which, as we all know by now, was hardest hit by the hurricane. And so we actually have to do not just repairs here and there, but we're actually rebuilding sections of the network.
Yeah.
So they're going to be at least a couple of weeks, possibly a month, really, before the entire St. Elizabeth is restored. We have started some work, though, in the parish. So yesterday at 2:30 a.m., we were able to energize the Black River Hospital as well as NWC pump at Mount Edgecombe, Luana, and Darliston. And that's because our restoration protocol is that the first line, the first persons who get back electricity are the essential services. So we know everybody wants their power right away, and we totally appreciate that, absolutely. But naturally, we have to go first to the persons who actually hold our lives in their hands, in some cases quite literally, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about hospitals first, we're talking about water pumps first, because we all need water within days just to survive. We're talking about telecommunications, airports, those essential services are first on the list. And then following essential services now, we go to the bigger lines that supply large towns. Once we've covered those, we go to smaller lines, which are for the smaller communities. And then we go to the individual case-by-case situation. I'm actually on my way this morning as we speak. I don't know how my background sounds, but I'm actually on my way to St. Elizabeth as we speak, because we do have a project to reach out, to some members that are there. Yeah. So our team, what we're going to be doing as well to accelerate the recovery in St. Elizabeth is once we've had the majority of the island settled and restored, we are going to redeploy our team so that we have about 300 men and some ladies on the ground in parish to really escalate, to really intensify the recovery effort. We understand the frustration, because you're talking about people who feel left out and all of that, but we really understand it. But we're doing our best. And I think, to be honest with you, Rev, the teams, and Kevin can tell you, the teams have been doing yeoman service. I tell you, they start their days super early and work way into the night. I mean, at 2:30 a.m., you have people out there trying to energize our customers. So I really lift my hat to them. I don't know what they're taking, but they are doing some serious work out there.
Good segue for Mr. Hooper to come in, because Mr. Hooper, you are a field services technician. Have you been out in St. Elizabeth as well?
No, I work in the KSN parish. That's Kingston and St. Andrew North. So
all right, but you're in touch with those who are out in the south coast, right? I would assume in some way. Yeah. Give us a general feel of what happens out there on the ground, if you would.
All right. We are out there restoring customers from as early as 6 a.m. in the morning. We work to about 3 o'clock in the morning, sometime 4. Depends. Because
that is wrong. That's even longer than the 2:30 that I said. That's a crazy schedule.
Go ahead, Mr. Hooper.
So there's a lot of down lines there, because a lot of trees fall on the line, poles down. We are installing new poles, new lines.
All right, stick up in right there, Mr. Hooper. I'm going to come back to you. We want to hear more about that. We're up on a break. We'll be right back.
Time is just about 7:15 a.m.
Be a man, got to be a man.
It's an Olympic year, and on the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on men and sports. Track and field edition. Sports has been a very competitive activity, especially for men. Truth is that sports is a powerful tool that can help to influence persons in a positive direction. Can a Christian man really love sports and stay true to his faith in Christ? You are invited to join us as we speak with Pastor Ron Wayne on Wednesday, July 10 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. The mailbox is brought to you by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosterich Company Limited. The mailbox,
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the first watch, we are looking on the situation post the hurricane, the burial that we just experienced in regards to JPS and the electricity situation. In so doing, we have online Mr. Kevin Hooper, Field Services Technician, and Mrs. Audrey Williams, Media and Public Relations Manager at JPS. Before the break, Mr. Hooper, you were telling us about what's going on in the field, as it were, as the JPS workers are there. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, we are out there working relentlessly, from 6 a.m. to up to 3, 4 in the morning. I'm trying to restore our customers, because the customers are number one to us.
Yes.
And still working safely, to get the work done. It's very difficult out there, but with everything that's going on, we are getting it done, and we are thanking the public for just giving us that time for getting the work done in a timely manner. Even though sometimes some people don't understand what is to get done, but trust me, it's a lot.
Tell us about what is to get done. I mean, when you approach, for example, a situation like this post a hurricane, what are the first things that are done? A, B, C.
We have to go out in the field and do assessment.
Mm-hmm.
The assessment is to make sure to find out if the lines are okay, if there's any problem. If there's any problem, we have to write it down, and it have to go into the EOC center, and the EOC center, that is the emergency center, to them assess and send out a crew to get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing you have to do is assessment.
Yes.
And you can tell us that the line stands up. The JPS line has stand up to this hurricane greatly.
Oh, the lines just you're saying have stood up greatly? Why is that?
Yeah. Well, the main line in the case here now, has stand up greatly. But the lateral lines, that the off line where there's a lot more trees, the trees damage the line.
We're in about 200 and something poles down in St. Elizabeth. You heard of that, Mr. Hooper?
Well, I can't really talk much about St. Elizabeth, but I know there's a lot of poles down. Based on pictures that I've seen, there's a lot of poles down. And as Audrey said, we are going down there, 300 odd workers. We're going to put in the work from 6 until, time says we can't do anymore, because we have to rest back. We have to get rest.
Yeah, concerned about that, Mr. Hooper. How you guys going to manage, and ladies going to manage with that work schedule?
Well, here what happened. When it comes to a hurricane, we know say this is what it comes. It comes with a lot of work, and you have to mentally. JPS workers are always mentally ready for this type of work when it comes to hurricane.
Okay.
We always prep on these things. You understand? With 20 years of service, I've been through Ivan, Dean, so much hurricane. It's when we reach at this time, we know what it is. The family might not see we for a little while, but we have to out there put it in.
Yeah. Mrs. Williams, I take it that you have been to the South Coast and you are going back today, right?
Actually, I've been to Clarendon. Today is my first day down to the South Coast.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, interestingly, in terms of Clarendon, I went to a bit of Portland Cottage, Victoria Town, a place I didn't know existed before.
How bad is it over there? That's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, we have been
Portland
hearing
Cottage?
reports.
Yeah. So they did get quite a hit. But even so, apparently, from what I'm hearing, we should be able to restore them faster than St. Elizabeth. I use the word faster very guardedly. That's a very relative word. Because, I could see that some houses definitely took a very bad hit. I mean, you're just looking at what was a house. But there are some that stood up quite well. I must say, I noticed that there are a number of houses in Portland Cottage that stood up very well. So I was happy for those residents. One of the things that I learned, though, in terms of the big picture, in heading to Victoria Town, there are lines along the road, poles and lines, which have stood up beautifully, and persons might pass and say, why doesn't Victoria Town have lights? Because these poles and lines are fine. What I was informed in making the query was that the poles and lines that I was looking at were actually Jamaica poles and lines. Those are not GPS lines on the roadside leading up to Victoria Town. The GPS poles, which had been planted many, many, many years before, were actually off the road. So they were more several feet away from the side of the road, more inland. And with the heavy downpour of rain, the area where they were was badly flooded. And once you have extremely waterlogged soil, you may not have soil that poles can actually stand in firmly because they just begin to wash out or slide around, lean and so on because the soil is waterlogged. So one of the poles literally just slid down into the flooded waters right there. So what you see is just a little piece of the pole sticking out of the swamp. If it don't look good, if I wasn't shown the piece of pole, I would not have known that's what it was. Lying down there in the swamp. And in this situation, it's irretrievable for the team. They can't go down in the swamp to get a pole and lines. And that's one reason why the community is out. But just driving past, you would never get. And then once that pole and line have been retrieved, they have additional issues because that line now is going to run up into some areas where it's heavily forested, and very likely a lot of trees would have come down on the wires and perhaps broken them or otherwise created different faults. So just to give big picture, sometimes you are thinking, I'm not seeing what the problem is. But the problem for your community can be a couple of miles away from the community. Something has happened to the system and you're not able to discern it. But that is creating disruption for you to receive supply. I'll give you another example. Linstead was out. And people are saying, well, they can't figure out why Linstead is out. There's a transmission pole that was in the gorge, not on the roadside where you drive, but on the hillside like by the river. A pole went down there. That pole, that transmission pole, has a line that feeds directly into our substation, which in turn feeds the town of Linstead. Now, when that line went down, Linstead will be out. But for all intents and purposes, you might drive along the gorge, say to yourself, I'm not really seeing a big problem here. Why is Linstead out? Yeah. So these are just some of the issues. What we were able to do, we were able to reroute because of the grid and the investment that we've been making in the grid to really, increase its strength and resilience. We're able to reroute supply, not using that particular line that went down in the gorge, but reroute supply to another source to get electricity to Linstead. So they would have been energized as of yesterday, I believe. So there are many reasons. Sometimes people, don't understand. And I can appreciate that because the truth is, even as employees at JPS, if you're not an actual engineer, which I will hastily say I am not, right? If you're not an actual engineer or somebody with technical knowledge, you may not know what's causing something. But once you begin to really understand and get a a feel for the bigger picture, and you sort of appreciate a little bit more what it takes and why you are having a particular experience. What I can tell you though is that the teams are so dedicated.
Yes.
Mr. Hooper on the line is just one of them. He is so dedicated amongst a host of other employees to getting our customers back in. So I think, personally for me, I think, getting up to 84% in 5 days is fantastic.
Yes.
And by the end of the week, we're really looking at near normalcy for most of the island. I think really speaks well of the team and what they are capable of doing. And we see that Beryl has gone further north and is wreaking havoc as a category 1. She passed us as a 4.
Right.
And just for comparison, I just want to give you a little tips of comparison. Hurricane Ivan was a similar hurricane to Beryl, similar in strength and similar in the path that it took. And when Ivan passed, it took down the entire grid. We were shut down fully. When Beryl passed, we were able to hold on to 35%. But that speaks again to the fact that we are getting stronger and stronger. We are getting more resilient. It's really the outcome of the investments over the years. It is showing. And when people say, well, what's going to happen for the next hurricane if this happens and da, da, da. The truth of the matter is we have to take it as it comes. Each hurricane is a creature of its own. It's an individual because you may have high winds. And the truth is that the transmission is built to withstand winds of a category 4 hurricane. But you have other factors. You may have waterlogged soil that the pole can't stand up. Or you may have a missile in that wind. That's a whole different game right there. You might have zinc or trees or whatever other missiles coming with that wind that are banging into the lines, etc. That can create a whole different outcome. So we have to take it as it comes, but I can say that we are stronger, we are more resilient, and we have really, really dedicated teams. So I look forward to the rest of the season. We hope that this is not a sign of things to come, because we can't start the season with a 5 in July. Come on now. But, we'll take it as it comes, and I think we have done a lot of preparation to be able to support our people.
Mr. Hooper, I take it you might have the last word. What do you say to the listening and viewing public? Some of the challenges you face out there, some of the encounters, positives and negatives. What do you say to them going forward?
All I say to them is, we are here putting in the work. Everybody's going to get back light.
Everybody
will get back supply. We are going and we are putting the work. Right now,
optimism.
We are to Coopersville Rockall to finish up, and you have a set of team gone out to Glengoff and then to finish up.
Yes.
We have people go up to Newcastle to finish up. Even one of the road impossible. There's no more road. You understand?
I wonder about that, Mr. Hooper. How you navigate those situations, especially when the roads are that bad or inundated. How do you go around those things?
Well, as you know, where you can't drive, you have to walk.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
You have to go to you have to do what you have to do.
Yes.
Right now, we have one 8-mile gully up at Coopersville for go right now, and we have to just go up there, go do what we have to do. People that need supply.
Yes. Why? It's rough.
So people think, the wind did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
We might not see, but it did.
Yes.
We never get the water, get the wind.
Yes. Yes.
Take the same part as Ivan.
Right. All right. Well, we have to leave it there. I want to thank you both for joining us, and we continue to hope and pray to be looking out with great expectation that we're going to have this thing resolved as soon as possible. And by the way, Mrs. Williams, any time frame in terms of the future to have all of this resolved?
Well, we anticipate that the island barring, any unforeseen, should be generally okay by the end of the weekend.
We'll leave it there.
Minus St. Elizabeth,
Right.
Unfortunately, but
And
yeah.
St. Elizabeth in a couple of weeks. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
so
they'll
much
be
for
up to
joining
a
us.
month.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. Great. Have a safe day.
You're welcome. Yeah,
Thank you. You too. Take good care. Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Bank, anything possible with a little savings in your hand.
The time by Jan Bank is
7:30.
Winnings are on floor. Winnings are on floor. 75-inch smart TV paired with sound bars that they get every week. Samsung Galaxy smartphone a day. S24 day. Plus 3 grand prize when I get money for splash. $1 million each in a big money cash.
Get trivia prices of data and credit. Switch to Flow or activate any unlimited prepaid plan, or pay a yard and road bill on time and in full for chances to win.
conditions apply.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beads. Its fragrance is so amazing, you have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beads today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
You know what's sweet? The new pack Sweet Living promotion. Win great prizes.
Bedroom set, living room set, or kitchen appliance set, plus TVs and monthly cash prizes.
Send in 5 new pack labels or a receipt. Labels must belong to at least the new pack canned beans, coconut milk powder, and new pack oil categories. Fill out the tagline. New pack, more than just value. Place your entry in one of the drop boxes at participating outlets. Enter by mail or online at newpackjamaica.com. Time to live sweet. Enter the new pack Sweet Living promotion, June 16th to August 31. See the price for more details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
It's time for the True Juice 5K, Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at truejuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Sponsored by Supreme Ventures Limited, Rosico Group Limited, National Bakery, Caledonia Outdoor, Visual Vibe, Rainforest, Jamaica Dairy Board, Select Brands, Jamaica Observer, Guardian Group, Honey Bun, Real Power Diesel, Advantage Communications, iPrint Group, New Impact Media Solutions, and Love FM. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
Joan is living with HIV and she has the full support of her community.
Oh, Joan, one of my favorite passenger them. Nah, left her road.
Me love Joan. She sell the best box food on the block. You know what say Joan are the first year me ever do, I'm not left her out. My mom is the best. Anything she wants, I'm there for her.
Just like Joan, people living with HIV are a part of our community. Make we par, protect, accept, and respect. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Are you curious about Jamaica's future as a republic? Join the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs on Monday, July 8 and Wednesday, July 10 at 6 p.m. for an insightful webinar on Jamaica's journey on the road to republic. This is your chance to learn, ask questions about the recommendations of the CRC, and be a part of history in the making. Visit our website at mlca.gov.jm and register today. That's the Road to Republic webinar on July 8 and 10 at 6 p.m. See you there.
My mega
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy, all in one amazing location. My Mega Mart, the best value by far.
Women's Oasis Ministries presents a symposium from victims to victors. Come hear the stories of domestic abuse survivors. Tracy and Harry, Tristel Buckley, Garcia Wittick, and Vanaya Jack Davis. Greenacres Retreat Center, 330 to 331 St. Agnes Way, Spanish Town. From mess to message, from victims to victors. Saturday, July 13, 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Call or WhatsApp 764-544-4711. Your healing is just a prayer away.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Observer, Integrity Commission says it's close to wrapping up process related to PM's statutory declarations. Also, Jamaicans will be able to move accounts from one bank to the next in 2 years, says the finance minister. In the Gleaner, unusual circumstances surround the forensic analysis in Keith Clark murder trial. And in Loop News, 257 JPS polls down by Hurricane Beryl in St. Elizabeth. And finally, CSU slightly increases forecast for 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Wow. Those are some of the major stories and the news in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What are your thoughts on the Jamaican team selected for the 2024 Olympics? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. Soon come back.
In life, the more you have, the more you have to lose.
The more you love, the more you worry. The more you own, the less you sleep.
The more people rely on you, the more you have on your mind.
I have peace of mind,
knowing that whatever I own
and whoever I care about are covered by the very best.
With Sagicor Life and Advantage General, get life, health, and general insurance to help you protect what matters most.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less, or 2 or 3, at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar, and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease, and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Act now. Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Need auto insurance? Advantage General puts you in the driver's seat. Apply online, purchase online, renew online, submit a claim online. Coverage in no time. Request a quote, purchase insurance, submit claims, even pay renewals with Advantage General online. From zero coverage to insured in 10 minutes. Advantage General, a member of Sagicor Group Jamaica. Conditions apply.
Improving your credit score. Having a high credit score is great, and the opposite is true. Having a bad credit score is detrimental to your financial health. One way to improve your credit score is by paying your bills in full on time, every time. After 6 to 12 months of on-time payments in full, you should see a noticeable improvement in your score. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Enjoy yummy for the summertime. Win big for the back to school. It's the yummy summer back to school promotion. Purchase one each of these yummy products: yummy cheese bread, cornbread, jamboree, and 5-ounce buns. Write your name, address, and contact number on the back of your receipt and mail with the empty packages. Send in with your yummy salesman or drop off at your nearest yummy agency or entry box in participating supermarkets. Enter today and win your share of over 1.4 million in cash and prizes. Win big for the back to school. Follow us at Yummy Bakery JA for more details. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
On your mark, set, get ready to go. It's time for the True Juice 5K, a one-of-a-kind experience taking you through the beautiful True Juice orchards in Rockwood, Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at truejuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Come run, walk, and have fun while raising funds for the Lincoln Hospital. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
And now the World of Worship Wednesday is coming your way. Inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., July 10. Packed with worship, fun, and information. Stick around for the brain testing synthesize at 1:45. Prayer blasts will come your way at 2 o'clock. More prayer, more power. 2:15, we feature Fred Hammond as our worship artist of the day. At 3 p.m., we bring you the hot topics. Join us to find out what's trending in your world of entertainment, sports, lifestyle, style, you name it. All this and more will come your way inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. This World of Worship Wednesday, July 10. With yours truly, Sarah M, the trophy one on the family station, Love 101.
Have to be a man, got to be a man. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man.
It's an Olympic year, and on the next episode of the Mailbox, we will focus on men and sports. Track and field edition. Sports has been a very competitive activity, especially for men. Truth is that sports is a powerful tool that can help to influence persons in a positive direction. Can a Christian man really love sports and stay true to his faith in Christ? You are invited to join us as we speak with Pastor Ron Wayne on Wednesday, July 10 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. The Mailbox is brought to you by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosterich Company Limited. The Mailbox,
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jokal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answered today's question. What are your thoughts on the Jamaican team selected for the 2024 Olympics? Jokal.
All right, so we do have a response here from Cherry in Spanish Town. She sent a voice note. Let's hear from her.
Wonderful staff of Love 101 and our listeners. My thoughts on the selection for the Olympic. Sometimes we outside can say they don't do the best, but sitting on the outside and looking in, you can make a wrong judgment. So whatever they do, I'm okay with it. I just pray and hope that all our athletes that are going will have no injury, because I heard that Sharika had an injury last evening. So my prayer is that all our athletes remain healthy and injury-free during this Paris Olympics, and they give their best, win, lose, or draw. Jamaica all the way.
Thanks, Sherry, and that's my prayer too. That's our response is.
That's all our prayers.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, thanks. Now, it's been called a star-studded team and a formidable team. We're talking about the team going to the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France, comprised of more than 60 persons, including reserves. And in just a few weeks, we'll see what this team can accomplish. But maybe we can make some predictions and discover any challenges they may face. In so doing, we have online so far Mr. Dwayne Richards, CEO of Yardy Sports. And I think we're hoped to be joined by Ms. Olive McNaughton, Sports Realtor and Director at Jamaica Sports 876. We are looking forward to have her on as well. Welcome, Mr. Richards.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you, listeners. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you. Now, as we seek to carefully and objectively analyze Jamaica's 2024 Olympic team, let's start with a total number. Is it 66 in all, 32 women and 34 men? How does that number square with previous years, and what are your initial thoughts in that regard, Mr. Richards?
It's round about the average. We usually are around about 60 over the last few games, whether it's Olympics or World Championships.
So we have more this year than previous years?
Just a little bit more, yeah.
Okay. Yes. And the demographics, 32 women, 34 men. Any comments on that?
It's always a balanced field that we send out, and sometimes just a little bit more women, sometimes just a little bit more men. But the balance is usually there or thereabouts. So the numbers aren't varying from what we're used to.
Okay, pretty much the same. Okay, believe it or not, we're up on a break, Mr. Richards. We'll be right back.
Okay.
14 for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that's a the winner. Shop on supermarket, everybody
Great
say it.
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
7:45.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and this is the second watch. We're analyzing Jamaica's 2024 Olympic team. And we have online so far Mr. Dwayne Richards, CEO of Yardy Sports. Welcome again, Mr. Richards. Now,
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, the team will reportedly participate in, I think, only 17 events. And
only,
and it seems to be all track and field events. So, what about swimming? No diving, boxing, cycling, as in years past.
The list that you would have gotten would have been for the track and field team. We have a diver.
Okay.
We have a diver and we have a swimmer as well.
Okay.
But the list that you're looking at is from the J3s, and that comprises just the track and field team.
Right, so we're gonna have diving, a representative doing diving, right?
You're on a night wisdom. You're on a night wisdom.
Night,
will be
yes.
representing us.
Right.
Diving.
And what again? Apart from the track and
There's
field.
a swimmer. I'm not remembering her name at the moment, but we have a swimmer who's going as well.
And I remember years gone by, there was boxing, there was cycling. What's happening there? Do you know?
Yes, it's competing at the Olympic Games is a very challenging thing. The standards for the Olympic Games are very, very high, and qualification is not guaranteed or assured. And that's why we need to respect what our track and field athletes are able to achieve, because we are extremely competitive. We're ranked second in the world in track and field.
Mm-hmm.
That is an amazing accomplishment that we take for granted because of what transpired in the early 2000s, with the rise of Bolt and his cohort and our dominance over the years during the games. We've come to take for granted what we've achieved in track and field and our presence at games, whether it's the World Championships or the Olympic Games. Getting there is a very, very challenging thing to do, and remaining there at this consistent level has been quite an achievement for this country.
Mm-hmm. So for, just to be sure, the other events that are at Olympics that we used to be involved in, the cycling and the boxing, for example.
We haven't had a cycling at the Olympics for a while.
Right, since Weller or something like that. David Weller.
Right.
But
we don't have much cycling happening in Jamaica.
Yeah.
The velodrome is something that has to be replaced, and we've been hearing about that for years and years and years. So preparing an athlete outside of track and field to get to the Olympic Games require a whole lot of investment, and we don't see that. We don't see a whole lot of investment in trying to get people up to par for Olympic competition in most of the sports. It requires a lot. It requires a lot of funding. It requires a lot of support from corporate Jamaica, and unless you're really lucky, as an athlete outside of track and field, getting that kind of support is not easy. And we've seen where we've come close a couple of times with football to get to the Olympic Games and fallen short because it's just really, really competitive.
Yeah. This year, from Jamaica's perspective, what are the standouts, the expected standouts this year, and what are the concerns you may have in that regard?
The shorter sprints, as usual, we're looking to make our mark at the Olympic Games, the 100 meters and the 200 meters for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
The 400 meters men has come along. We had 3 men running under 45 seconds at the national championships, and that bodes well for us going into the Olympic Games. John Bailey had a run yesterday. He had another sub-45 clocking. So in terms of that, I think we're doing pretty well. The 100 meter hurdles and the 110 meter hurdles, we're also looking for good performances there. And the 400 meter hurdles for men and women, we are competitive in that event. And in fact, Rochelle Clayton, she's ranked number 3 in the world right now.
Yeah.
She's had a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
She ran a national record at the national championships. And she has never won an Olympic medal. She has 2 world championship bronze medals. And I'm certain that an Olympic medal is in her sights. And we wish her all the best. And we hope that she will remain fit going into the Olympic Games, and will be able to come away with a medal there as well.
Yes. And of course, there are some concerns. The injury of Shericka Jackson, was it yesterday in Hungary?
Yesterday, the camp is playing it down, but I am pretty concerned. When you pick up any kind of niggle at this time, so close to the Olympic Games, it will be cause for concern because one, you won't be able to prepare as you would have wanted to. And the 100 meters and 200 meters, which Shericka will be competing in, is very, very competitive this year. She needs to be fully fit. It's going to be challenging going up against the best of what America has to offer, and also the local talent. And less than 100% fit is going to be an issue. I don't think that we'll get full disclosure because obviously you do not want to give away anything to your competition. So we won't know the full extent of her injury until we see her take the field. And I can't, the track, and I can't imagine that we'll see her run at the Olympics without her hamstring being strapped. I just can't imagine. So I'm concerned. I'm very, very concerned based on the reaction that we saw. And we've seen the picture of her grimacing when she pulled up yesterday. So I'm really, really concerned about that.
And of course, Elaine is out of it, eh?
Yeah,
Elaine's
injury. When I actually watched the race, and when she got injured, I was concerned. When she went down, she sat down on the track. I was concerned. I was more concerned about when she got up and tried to reach down to touch her foot. She did it twice, and she couldn't do it. And at that point, I knew that her season was done because she couldn't put any pressure at all on her foot. And at that time in the season, if you can't put any pressure on the foot, the chances of recovery are zero. So it wasn't a surprise to me when she had to declare that her season was over.
Yeah.
And it's a real shame because she was going after history again. She was chasing history again, having won the double in Brazil and then won the double again and was going after that double for a third time. It would have been fantastic and amazing to even see her attempt it.
Yeah.
And to know that she won't be able to get a chance to represent Jamaica at these Olympic Games is really, I'm really sad for her.
Yeah. Antonio Watson is out as well, eh?
Yeah. He, from the start of the season, he's been plagued with injuries. And at the Racers Grand Prix, when he was warming up, he had an injury again. He tried to go at the national championships, but when he was warming up, I knew that he wouldn't make it because he kept twisting his hamstring, his calf muscle, and I knew that he wouldn't make it. And he barely got past the 100 meters before he had to stop. So whatever the injury is, he's going to require a lot of rehab. And I imagine for the rest of this year, all he'll be able to do is just to try and get that muscle repaired for next year, because next year will be another World Championship year. So he'll have a chance to defend his title.
Yes. And of course, on the upside, a lot of spotlight is now on is it Kishane Thompson with his 9.77 run. I mean, this man is having interviews left, right, and center. Even his family.
Yes.
How is he handling it?
Yes. he seems to be handling it quite well. He's quite a reserved person, but obviously stepped into the spotlight.
Yes.
And he's been consistent. He ran yesterday a very controlled race.
What it?
Looking around, making sure that he won the race without pressuring himself.
9.9 or something like that. 9.9.
9.91.
Yeah.
Very controlled, you know.
Yeah.
And turned that the challenges of the likes of Akini Simbini. So, you know, he is learning how to control his races.
Yes.
And that's one of the key things. If you go back to when both ran at championships, the various championships, managing the rounds are critically important.
Right. Before the final.
You want to win for the sake of your confidence, but you also don't want to overexert yourself.
Right.
And both always controlled his races. First round, semifinals, finals, he controlled his races. And that is what we're seeing from Thompson.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know the name, but last year he ran a pretty good time in the heats at the national championships, and then he didn't return for the semis. And people wondered about his physical fitness. But this year we can see that he's a lot stronger and he's a lot faster. And before the national championships, we were told to expect what we're seeing now. You know, those who are in media, we were told to expect what we're seeing now. So we're not surprised. A lot of people are, but we are not, because we were told what to expect.
And
he has come up.
He's speaking at the right time.
Started to deliver on the promise.
Speaking at the right time. I get that we have Miss Matt Norton on. Welcome.
Good morning. Good
Yes.
morning to you and to your listeners and to is that Mr. Richards I'm hearing also.
Yes, that's Dwayne.
Yes,
It is good morning.
Yes.
It's a beautiful morning in Jamaica. We have to pray for those persons who got devastated, but yes.
Yes, we
Love-
we have been. Your expectations for this team this year at the Olympics?
I think Jamaica has a blend of experience and youth, and I would say that this team is what from the 2008 era, the Bolt era, with only Shelley and Fraser Price, the last remaining person on that team. This team, I think, is a balanced, good team. I think it's a team that will represent our country well. We have diversified in terms of having more persons in field events, and that is good for the development. And I think this team, past few years, persons were saying, boy, the men not saying a thing. Well, I think this year we have both strengths
They're saying something.
in both sides, both male and female, as Shane Thompson and Oblique Civil has inspired, and Blake is right behind him, the young Blake, has given us Jamaicans and people over the world to say Jamaica's sprinting is still around.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
We are disappointed that maybe our double Olympic champion Elaine Thompson is not able to defend. But with the girls, ladies in the 100 meters, good. I don't remember in 2008, Shelley was a surprise youngster.
Mm-hmm.
We hope with anticipation we've seen what Tia Clayton will go to the Olympics and do. And so our quarter milers, wow, we have somebody that runs, Nikisha Price running 48, breaking the national record, breaking that 49-meter barrier for the first time.
Yes.
So, our 4 men running 44 seconds, they're still there. They will be competitive. We'll just have to see how that goes. And the long jump, 3 men and at the Olympics doing a long jump, all 3 running, slumping consistently over 8 meters. That is just fantastic.
And
so
the Ricketts
team,
on the other side.
and we have on the other side, Akila Smith, young Akila Smith. For the first time, Jamaica has somebody doing both the long and the triple jump, being NCAA double champion. That has never happened before. She's creating history by doing both at the event. And of course, she's there with our veteran, I don't want to call her veteran, she's a Ricketts, there to guide. And veteran, Kip Williams is a veteran. But she's the guided.
So let me ask Miss Matt Norton and then Mr. Richards, your comments on the failure of Jamaica to qualify for the 4x4 relay.
It's disappointing. We have a rich history in the 4x4, but I will look at it. There's an opportunity for us to put out a strong team for the 4x4 mixed relay. And so this mixed relay is the first time at the Olympics. So hopefully it won't change the eventual mix of our medal prospects. So we'll probably get a medal there instead of the 4x4.
Let me get Mr. Richards on that quickly.
Yes, it was very disappointing. There was a lot of hype built up at the national championships around giving the best talent that we had the opportunity to rest and recover, to go after the time to get to the Olympic Games. But those athletes didn't show on the Sunday. Other athletes went after it. We missed it by just a bit.
Got to leave it there, Mr. Richards. All right. Thank you so very much. I didn't get a chance to ask you for your predictions. Another time I ask you that. All right. Have a safe day. Bless you.
Thank you. You too. Blessings to all.
Great. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for a discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information, to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9596-7. This, of course, has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and our guest, I'm Dylan Toussaint. Handing you back to Love in the Morning with Jukal Dyer.
Thank you for listening to The Morning Watch. Coming up next is